This is the Daymak Photon. It's a fun little kick scooter that was successfully funded through Kickstarter in June 2015. Very affordable. It actually comes in two different flavors. The first one, it has kind of these plastic wheels instead of these rubber ones. It doesn't have the suspension, it doesn't have the phone holder or the light. It's only $199. This one, it's kind of the upgrade, and it does have those upgrades right there. And the suspension, you know, there's not a ton of travel, but it's going to cushion you a little bit. And I do like the tires. You know, they can be inflated right there. We've got kind of a Schrader valve. They're 6 by 1 1/4, a little bit narrower than some of the other kick scooters I've seen. But they've actually got a pretty good diameter, and they've, you know, it's got kind of a cast center there, so there's no spokes or anything. They look a little smaller because this deck is large. You've got that little solar panel on there, and it's really pretty cool. You can charge the whole thing up in about a day because the battery is relatively small. This one has the sealed lead acid battery. It's kind of in that blue part of the frame there, surrounded by metal. Pretty nice. 24 volts, 4.5 amp hours. You can upgrade this. They have one that's lithium ion battery. It's going to be a little bit lighter weight, and that one's 24 volts. It's like 7.5 amp hours. So you're going to get more range with this thing. You know, in my opinion, this was probably going to work best for someone who's a little bit lighter weight. I mean, I got on it and I was bending over a little bit like this, you know, to kind of reach down to it. It handled pretty well, but the top speed is definitely lower. You know, it's just over like 10 miles per hour or something. The motor, it's 100 watt. Let's see if I can kind of tip this over gently. One of the things I like is that these grips actually have metal caps on the end, so they're locked in, they're not going to twist. And if you tip the scooter, it's not going to get dinged up quite as bad. So anyway, the motor, that's this canister right here. It's a kind of a gearless canister drive. Pulls this belt. It's 100 watts. And so in Canada and the US, this is classified as like a toy, right? And again, I think this is probably best for like kids, someone who's a little bit lighter weight, not looking for that high speed. You know, even if they are a little bit rough with it, you can tip it over. It's not going to be a huge deal. It's only got one brake, but that brake does have a motor, kind of a kill switch integrated, which is nice. It pulls on this kind of a drum brake. So there are these two metal pieces inside, and when you pull on the brake, there's that mechanical sort of wire there. When you pull on that, they spread and they create friction, and that's what stops you. It's not super instantaneous, but again, you're not going too fast. This thing isn't super heavy. Got this nice plastic shell, gives you plenty of room to step. That's where the battery is, inside this bay. So, you know, it kind of gets the job done. It's definitely interesting, something kind of unique in the world of kick scooters. And that price point is dead on, in my opinion. Blue or red, which is pretty cool. Got the wires sort of integrated into the kind of that steering tube. But it didn't seem like super adjustable or anything. Some of the other scooters, you know, they fold down and they do kind of a really compact kind of folding thing. And I've actually got Akili here who works at Daymak, and I was going to ask him to help us fold this down. Can you do that? And can you comment on the adjustability of like the height, or is this kind of like one size?
It is kind of one
size fits all.
But this you open that up
so
here.
There's a quick release. So here it is, completely folded down. You can actually pick it up like this right from the middle, and it weighs about 25.5 pounds, so not too bad at all. And there's that solar panel again. It takes about 17 hours with, like, you know, direct sunlight. That's not with you standing on it or anything. That's just if you were leaving it out in the sun. And again, with the battery sort of sheltered by that deck, it should hold up. You know, lithium-ion batteries are going to last longer through more charge cycles and stuff. You're going to pay a little bit more for them. But, you know, I'd advise putting this in your garage or something, because extreme cold, especially if you're in Canada. I'm here at the Daymak headquarters in Toronto. If it's snowing and icy out, you know, those extreme temperatures can be kind of hard on batteries, but the trickle charging kind of helps. So, yeah, Akili, if you want to maybe help me get this back into the sort of the unfolded position, that would be great. There's that headlight. It's just sort of an independent light. You press the little button. No worries. Press the little button on the back, press it again, and it sort of flickers. Kind of nice to have that. You know, it depends on how you're riding it. Take your time, dude.
Yeah, you have to lift it up here. Can you try to move it up? And then
go. And now we're back in the upright position. So you can kind of see that. You sort of loosen this, and then you bring it up, and then it swivels, and then you lock it down, and you can lock it in that position or that position. So, you know, pretty simple. There's the close-up of the suspension, and another shot of the deck. I like that this one, you know, completely covers the rear wheel. That's going to protect you like a fender, and it just gives you a little bit more space for feet. I think a lot of customers might be kids and stuff. I don't have especially large feet. These are like 9.5s, but you can see me just standing next to it. You know, there is enough feet space. Here's the phone holder. It's just a simple kind of spring-loaded thing. There's the brake levers. Got the grip over here, the twist grip. Careful with this because it can kind of just take off on you, you know, if you accidentally twist it. That scraping noise was just the kickstand down there, so nothing really out of the ordinary. And then this is like a really cool USB port. Sounds like all the models have this. You could use that to charge your phone if you were riding with it, or you can use it to sort of play music and do different things. So whether it's iOS or Android, if it's Android, you can plug directly in and it can kind of read from there. I think there's even like there's like a memory card port back here, like a micro SD. Look at that. So you could play music right off of that or off of your phone. And then there's a Bluetooth app. So you could have your phone up here, you could be playing music and just jamming while you're going down the street with these two little speakers. Very cool. This is like the only thing I've seen quite like this to date. Achille, do you want to hit play on the video we had? This is me doing one of my reviews. I didn't want to use copyrighted music. That resemble this. There's one from Ejo. Look at that. A couple other makers. I love that the battery is just... That's awesome. Right into that. You know, they're pretty loud. You could definitely hear that. Let's keep playing that while I'm riding. I'm going to try to juggle this. Oh, it's buffering? Yes. Here we go. I'm just going to take off. So you can charge it on or off the bike. This one has a 350-watt internally geared 8-fun motor. Oh, yeah. But you'll notice that it has magnesium wheels, so you're not going to have to worry about truing spokes or anything. And we might be out of range now for the Bluetooth. You know, just as with any kick scooter, there's a little bit of wobble at the front. This one doesn't go super fast. Okay, I'm going to do a ride test this time with Achille holding the camera. I did want to mention that the warranty on this is like a year for the frame and the motor, 6 months on the battery and the rest of the components. So not too bad for something it's pretty affordable this way. Here we go. Okay, just go ahead and face it towards me and I'll just ride all around. I'm gonna gun it. I'm gonna go top speed. Testing out that suspension. Whoa, a little bit of a manual there. That was sweet. Whoa, and that's the thing I was talking about, where you kind of get to the end. If you're not careful, you can accidentally, you know, kind of get away from you. So be careful with that throttle. There is a power switch down here. Whoa, God, I did not mean to do that. There is a power switch down here on the other side of the battery pack, just like right here. So it seems like that's how you turn it off, right? Just kind of deactivate it down here with that switch. So yeah, very cool. Okay, this is top speed right now. Going down a little bit of a hill. Oh boy, getting some speed wobble at the front. Hitting some bumps. You know, the suspension doesn't give you a ton of cushion, but it helps a little bit. There we go, whoa. Yeah, I think that like 10 mile per hour-ish top speed is plenty on this, just because it is somewhat unstable. You know, you've kind of got some shake going on. Most of the weight's in the deck, and you know, it's a kick scooter, and again, I think this would be ideal for like kids or something, because transportation-wise, you know, it's not going fast enough. It doesn't feel comfortable enough for me that way. But the price point, you know, it's like a few hundred bucks for something like this. Kind of fun. I think that's like a pretty good overview. And again, the technology is cool. The phone mount swivels a little bit. The light, you know, it's all sort of like tacked on a little bit. I think the platform itself is kind of basic, but when you add some of these extras and stuff, it becomes a little bit more fun. And as a kid, I could see myself really enjoying this, going around the block and having my own little vehicle. So anyway, for the full write-up on this and other light electric vehicles and kick scooters, I'll see you back at ElectricRideReview.com. Of course, ride safe.